Yep, I can hear you just fine, man. How's it going? Could be better.
We'll just wait for a couple of minutes here before we get started, but it's a good thing we did the mic check now, so.
Absolutely.
Wow, we already have 70 people in here. That's awesome. So, William, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking, Broadcastinator. And
I
yourself?
mean, yeah, doing well. I was sick around New Year's time, so I actually ended up spending New Year's Eve at home, the evening part of it at least. And yeah, it was fine. Could have been better, like you said, but
Yeah.
yeah, I recovered and that's fine. And I'm just happy to be better now. But how was your New Year? I can't hear you, by the way. You may have gotten disconnected. I'm not sure.
Hello?
But
Hello?
yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I was asking how your New Year was.
and I was responding that
Oh,
New Year's Eve is actually always my son's birthday. So it was
oh
really good.
wow,
It was really good. We had a lot of family over and some quality
that's
time
awesome.
there. Yeah, it was good.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's great. I'm a happy birthday to your son. Sure, that's a very special day for multiple reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for everyone here, I'm going to have to make a quick lame joke to William here. Last time I talked to you was last year. Ha ha ha
Yeah, it was.
ha. Yeah. Well, just for fun. I know the joke is lame. I know the joke is overdone, but I just had to. Sorry.
So what's the weather like now at your place?
Yeah, weather in Dubai is really amazing right now. Honestly, it's the type of weather where if you go for a jog or for a run, it's you don't sweat. That type of weather,
Yeah.
and always thankful to have that type of weather. Honestly, because it's only here for maybe 4 or 5 months at best out of the year. Maybe 6 if we're lucky, and then the other 6 are kind of not the best. But yeah, so we're in the middle of it right now, and hopefully, yeah, we get to enjoy the next 4 or 5 months maybe until May is when things really start getting pretty intense again. But yeah, anyway, I mean, I don't want to keep bantering on on in this space. I think we have enough people to start now, so we can start. We have around 90 people, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
sure.
So.
Yeah.
Guys, first of all, welcome back. Happy New Year to all of you from myself and also the Bitrock team. We hope you all had a great end to 2023 and hopefully a good start to this year as well. I think, in the space you see sometimes some teams disappear around the new year. They go take vacations in the Bahamas, but the team was working pretty hard. Yes, of course, the team did take some family time, but I think still fairly present in the chat and thankfully working as well, and also solid presence and work still being done. So that never stopped. So yeah, I mean, pretty excited to start the new year, and really happy to see that there's a lot of familiar faces and kind of names, I guess, in the chat. Sorry, in the space, and who are still with us and have been for going on 6 months now, which is crazy. So it's going to be 6 months in less than a week, which is yeah, just honestly pretty crazy to think about. Not many projects last that long in the space that, you know, are just simply stealth launched and stuff. But yeah, so lots of info for you guys today. We do have William, as you guys may have heard, who's going to be popping in very shortly here for a quick update on WRA Platform as well. They're doing some really exciting things, and honestly, even outside of the Bitrock blockchain, these guys are pushing really hard. I think harder than a lot of other projects that I've seen just in my tenure in the crypto space in general. So kudos to them. I'm just basically going to give a very quick introduction, first of all, about Bitrock for those who may not know, and then about what we're probably going to be discussing in today's space. And then we're going to give the mic to William for a little bit. And then it's going to come back to me, and I'm going to take you guys through all the different kind of news that we have for you. So yeah, first of all, the goal of this space AMA is to kind of, you know, give you guys an idea about what the team is working on at the moment, what's coming in the very short term, medium term, long term, that type of stuff. And of course, there's a lot, as usual, with these spaces that the in-house spaces that we do. And again, there's going to be an update as well now from William, who represents WRA Platform. So very quickly, Bitrock is a layer 2, well, it's a side chain. If you kind of think about it in layer 1 versus layer 2 terms, it's closer to layer 2, Ethereum side chain. Obviously, you know, almost near zero gas fees. I think you guys know all about this by now. 2-second block times, 12,000 transactions per second, blah, blah, blah. For more information, please go check our website, the documentation. I really ran through this introduction because I think for the most part, everyone here already knows what the project is about. And for any newcomers who, again, may have joined randomly or who have just joined the Telegram recently and don't know too much, please ask any questions you have in our Telegram. The team and mods will be happy to answer you guys. And also, like I just said, please check the website and the documentation as well. And WRA Platform, and I'll let William also introduce the project here. WRA Platform is very simply one of, well, actually it was the first kind of partner project that launched Onchain. And what a partner project simply is that it is a project whose team had approached the Bitrock team, undergone a vetting process, and essentially the launch and the project itself has support from the Bitrock team as well. It's a different team operating the project, but it is supported by the Bitrock team, whether it was at the time of launch, before launch, after launch, up until present day. And of course, that is in exchange for the team of that project undergoing a vetting process to the Bitrock chain team. So for kind of further details and stuff, either go into their Telegram or just check out the intro that William will mention right now. So with that said, William, welcome again. Yeah. Happy New Year again. And you do have also some, I mean, you can introduce the project, but you also have some, you know, updates that you're working on. I think a new NFT collection, and also that has somewhat of a tie that you can describe to USDB, which is the Bitrock stablecoin. And there's also a giveaway that you're going to be doing. So take it away. Absolutely. The mic is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in today's Bitrock X Spaces. The name is Mr. William, and I'm indeed the developer/founder of WRA Platform. I forgot it, man. It was the first official partner project on the Bitrock chain, and I'm more than grateful for all the support from the launch up and until today, with this Spaces being the latest form of support. And what we're about is about NFTs. And you mentioned that, you know, the block time and the near zero gas fees and blah, blah, blah. This might be repetitive for the listeners, but what I noticed is that the Bitrock chain is catching major eyes recently, right? We've seen a major uplift in the charts, and I think that we have a lot of new investors. So my 2 cents is like, we have to embrace and welcome all the new investors, and that is also why I will shine a bit of light on what are NFTs, not now.
I think he may have gone disconnected again. We'll just wait for a tiny little bit here, maybe a
Hello,
minute or so.
hello,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Go on.
So where did my mic stop?
You were saying about the near zero gas fees
Yeah,
and the block times and catching major eyes and an
yeah,
uplift and so on.
yeah. This is weird. I have like one of the best internet connections in the Netherlands. I have really good in-earphones from Sony. Well, just keep me, as soon as you lose me, let me know.
Yeah, no
It might.
worries.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm thrilled to be here anyways, Broadcastinator, and I'd like to discuss indeed the exciting developments within the Bitrock ecosystem, and more specifically, the official partner project, which is all about NFTs. So first of all, I'd like to start with a really short introduction as to what is an NFT and what are NFTs. And indeed, I noticed that the Bitrock chain um, has welcomed a lot of new investors recent days and weeks. And I can imagine that not all of the listeners know what an NFT is. And I think that the Bitrock ecosystem is positioned really well for the upcoming bull market, and more specifically, non-fungible tokens, or in short, NFTs, which also have a major correlation with Web3 gaming. To, to keep it really short, why is the potential of NFTs on Bitrock chain so big, and what are NFTs? Well, an NFT, it is written as non-fungible token. So it's a token. It's a token like WRA Platform token or Masters Millions or Rockstar token. It is a token. It is stored on the blockchain, but you cannot exchange them. It's like having a digital signature saying this is a one of a kind. And to give you some examples, NFTs give investors the opportunity to own art, digital art, or a special item, or a video game item, or a game character which is upgrading throughout your gaming experience. You can store this on the Bitrock blockchain. It's like history captured in a digital file. You can basically turn anything digital in an NFT, and the blockchain says you are not just getting a copy, you are getting the original. Here's the proof that you have the real deal. You can look up in the Bitrock Explorer, explorer.bit-rock.io. You can look it up. This is my property. And why do I think that this is big for Bitrock? Well, because, and I'm going to repeat you, Broadcastinator, the Bitrock chain is EVM compatible. So it's a sidechain of Ethereum. And that means that the past decade of development, all the coding and programming and all the nitty gritty stuff, you can apply all of this knowledge on the Bitrock chain. However, the Bitrock chain is near zero gas fees. And this is specifically big for the NFT space because you noticed the short peak in transactions on Ethereum recent months, and then the gas fees went nuts, right? So if you are to launch a NFT project or a Web3 gaming project or anything with more heavy data, let's say, in terms of gigabytes, it will cost you tremendous amounts of gas money, which is a waste. And the Bitrock ecosystem fixes this. There's near zero gas, and also there's this, well, I'm not gonna, there's a 2-second block time currently, which is also extreme.
Yeah. Keep it at that for now. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is big. This is big news for the NFT community, and this is why I actually built WRA Platform. It is currently it's an NFT project with a live marketplace. So everybody can launch an NFT collection currently on the Bitrock chain, and the WRA Platform NFT marketplace will fetch this data live. It's continuously scanning the Explorer for new NFTs. You can list, sell, trade, auction them all on the live marketplace. But I'm also an artist. I also develop artwork. And It's a lot of work. It is not only the art side of things, it's also you need to know smart contract coding. You need to know how to make the front end of a website, the back end. How can people connect their wallet and buy the artwork? And that got me thinking. I see the potential for NFTs in the Bitrock ecosystem, but not all creative minds also have the skills to develop these decentralized apps. So what we need in the Bitrock chain is an NFT launchpad. We already have a token builder, so you can already launch your project with a you can just click and browse and put the data, and without any coding experience, you can already launch your own token on the Bitrock chain. This is already live and there, and it's from the Bitrock core team. And I've actually built something like this for NFTs. So you can simply upload your artwork. You can slide around with sliders and decide on the rarity of different traits and layers, and you can generate artwork in a simple environment. I mean, that son of mine, whose birthday was with New Year's, he can operate a tablet, right? He's 5, 6 years old. I want artists to have the same experience through my Launchpad. So it should be, very intuitive and easy going. And I'm proud to say that I've actually tested this Launchpad on the test net, and I've really pushed it to the limits by using a pretty heavy art collection. And I was like, yeah, why not launch this collection, right? So that is the mutated primates. It's a bit inspired, obviously, on the Bored Apes, but due to copyright infringement, etc., it's completely different. It's hand drawn. There's no relation whatsoever. But being an NFT enthusiast myself, I thought, well, one of the best chains for the NFT enthusiasts, we should have at least an ape kind of inspired collection. And I'm happy to say that all you listeners, if you simply listen throughout this full AMA or spaces, I must say, then you're eligible to win 1 out of 3. So I'll be airdropping 3 of these mutants.
You cut out again, William.
I should be back now. I
Yep.
hope. Yeah. So I noticed that when my phone screen goes into standby, then you lose me. So I need to refresh my
Gotcha.
my mobile
Yeah.
phone.
First world problems. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was saying that anybody who listens throughout this full AMA is eligible to win one of these 3 giveaway mutants. And I think it's best if you simply interact with one of the comments I made in this spaces. Then I know that you were really here, and then we will get it sorted in my Telegram channel. Yeah.
Awesome.
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 Oh.
No, go for it.
Go for it, go for it. Yeah, okay. A little bit of more about then this Launchpad, keeping it short. I mean, you have so much bullish news to share, I hope. Closing my pitch, I'd like to share a bit more light on Launchpad. So basically you would have a couple of options. You can have drops, editions, generations, and what it means is that you can upload MP3s, music, videos, single pieces of artwork. You can import a Photoshop file with different layers. And the Launchpad will take care of everything. It will make your own smart contract. It will deploy all your NFTs. It will even make your custom mint website with your own hyperlink. You can even customize the hyperlink. So you don't need to think about any of the stressful bits and pieces of this launch of your own NFT collection. And it will utilize my wrapped platform token. So it will ask you for a really small contribution. I want the threshold to be very low. And then you pay this fee and it deploys everything for you. So yeah, the Launchpad is going to be packed. There will be a dashboard where you can see your earnings. You can have affiliates, airdrops, settings, max wallet, max transaction, public minting. If you want to learn more, I would say give me a follow in my Telegram channel. And I'd like to close my pitch by stating that the potential of the Bitrock ecosystem is big for NFTs. Currently, it is, let's say, not saturated like other chains. There's only a couple of projects. There's only a couple of projects building NFT projects. I know that Thursday There will be another launch of another cool NFT project. Big shout out to this guy, Slabs. He will bring utility NFTs. And yeah.
Awesome, awesome, man. Honestly, thank you for the great pitch. First of all, I think it was, a fairly comprehensive update on the project, and also at the same time informative for people who may not know too much about NFTs or specifically WRA Platform. So thanks for that. I just have firstly one question. Do you have an estimated kind of time frame for when the Launchpad will go live?
Yeah. If I learned something in my past 5 months already within the Bitrock chain, is that be a bit careful about dates.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned my lesson. But
No, fair enough. Fair
no,
enough.
I can share what I can say is that we've actually started now shifting from the testnet, which was a success, big success actually. We have shifted now to the mainnet this week, and we are also in talks with two projects who we will well we will fully guide them through using the launchpad. So if there's any bugs or findings or whatsoever, we are on top of them. So the it will be like a stealth launch or whatever, you know. We will go live and we will help projects to launch through our launchpad, and we'll plan, do, check, act, implement feedback on the go.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, that's the PDCA cycle. I am very familiar with that in my actual like real life work.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
so yeah, awesome. I mean, again, yes, definitely a good thing to not commit to a certain date. I think it seems like we're talking, maybe weeks, maybe
Yeah,
a month
weeks.
or so.
Yeah,
That's
tops.
awesome. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really exciting. Um, a couple of things. Again, thank you for the pitch. I think the first thing that kind of caught my ear, of course, I kind of did have an idea about the Launchpad, of course, but I think actually hearing all of the things that it can do, it honestly really just sounds like, people who may be familiar with the token, the Bitrock chain token builder, which was built by the team, where you can simply, kind of enter a few simple parameters on a very user-friendly interface, and simply just deploy a token on the Bitrock chain. And there's tutorials as well. For those who are not familiar, you can just type in the Bitrock chat /coin tool, and it'll take you there. It's also available in the documentation to understand or learn more about it. But it sounds like a kind of NFT equivalent to that, which I think is something that is not, I don't know too many other projects that did that. I'm being conservative because of course, my knowledge is limited, so there may be other stuff out there, but of course, definitely, the first and probably only one on the chain forever. Unless someone else comes. Yeah, I mean that's the way it's going to be most likely. So kudos on building that. I think I did work in IT before, and I know the type of work that goes into the front end development, and kind of also the back end, the coding and stuff. I'm not too much into coding, but front end I'm familiar. So that's awesome, honestly, and the fact that you have so much control on the different layers and traits and so on, and of course the different types of inputs, whether it's an MP3 file or a video or a picture or any essentially type of visual or auditory input. That's, I think, very utilitarian for the chain and for anyone who wants to launch an NFT or an NFT collection on chain. And of course, you have your own platform for displaying, of course, those and essentially hosting those NFTs as well. And you have the official NFT marketplace of the Bitrock chain under WRA Platform, so that's also huge. And yeah, the last point I wanted to make is huge respect to the progress and development and effort that you and your team have put in, because I think to build such a project, you really need a passion and a drive for NFTs specifically, but also just generally, art and design, more generally speaking, to be able to put all the hours needed to build that type of stuff. So kudos to you, man. You guys have done
Thank you very
really,
much.
really, really good things. And thanks for jumping in the space. And like guys like William said, for those who interact with his reply or comment on the spaces, there's a giveaway for, I think, 3 NFTs from the new collection, the Mutants, which just dropped. And honestly, they look very, very cool. Honestly, definitely, I can see the Bored Ape inspiration, but I think it's different enough to be unique in its own right. So good job on the design. Honestly, it's very appealing. And
Thank you, man.
always happy to have you, William. Always happy to have you, mate.
Okay, guys, I'm tuning out, and I will return to the listener seat.
Awesome. Thanks again, William. And
Cheers.
yeah, no worries. So, guys, that was William from WRA Platform. Again, really, really happy to see, generally on-chain projects, and of course, especially his kind of doing their own or having their own journey on the chain and continuously building and, kind of moving to more on the Bitrock chain and news and so on. It's definitely showing in terms of the eyes on the chain, the kind of people taking note of the blockchain that is turning into, progress, growth, and success for not just the WRA Platform project, but I think many have seen, very positive growth for on-chain projects as a whole, whether it's growth for projects that are already existing or in the number of, projects deploying on the chain as well. And of course, do your own research, make sure you're investing what you're willing to, what you can afford to lose. And yeah, make sure that you, keep an eye out for things like socials for the projects and things like that. Because like any other blockchain, a project can be hit or miss, win or lose, moon or dust, whatever you want to call it. So definitely keep an eye out for that, please, guys. Be safe. And yeah, I'm going to take a very quick 15-second water break. My mouth is running dry. So just please give me a minute to drink some water, guys. All right, I'm back. So moving on to Bitrock news, developments, all of that type of good stuff. There's a lot. So we'll start first by congratulating ourselves, all of us, on getting to 16,000 Twitter followers. That's huge. And honestly, really speaks to the growth of not just the blockchain, but also our social following as well. I think that's very positive and, kind of really is part of the, let's say, positive social media presence in kind of anticipation of the bull run as well. We also got to 7,000 holders, at least on the ETH chain. So taking into consideration, also exchange holders and stuff like that, where we're listed on 3 of them. I don't know how many that takes us up to, but definitely above 7K. So we just hit 7K a couple of days ago, I think. So that's very positive. Congrats to all of us. And we also hit, I think, almost 200,000 mainnet transactions all time, which is, again, huge, especially for a new blockchain. We have also over 5,000 active unique wallets on the mainnet, which again is really, really good. I think compared to we're taking into consideration also the daily transactions. I think we've done a couple of posts on that, so you guys may have seen that. We just kind of keep smashing all-time high after all-time high in daily transactions. We were at 2K. I mean, we kind of, the last number under 1K that I remember was like 800 something. Shortly after, it went up to like 2 point something thousand transactions, and then it went up to 3,000 and something. then 5,000, and then 9,000, then 11,000. So honestly, really, really bullish stuff, guys. Speaking on a personal note here, we have surpassed many existing blockchains that have been around for months, if not years, with much bigger communities, with a much bigger user base in terms of numbers. Generally speaking, we have surpassed daily transactions for those. So this is something that we should really take a note of, appreciate, and understand that this is a very positive indicator for the health of the chain. Yes, of course, we can grow much more. And of course, there's a lot of different things that would help with that are coming as well. But at the same time, we should also appreciate the progress that's been made, and also take note of the fact that, whoever you are, at whatever point you've come in, this is a really good time to interact with the chain. If you're already a holder, make use of the technology, make use of the ease of use of the blockchain, essentially. Now, moving on to news. I feel like a news channel, but yeah, you guys may have seen some, like I said, growth for on-chain projects, very positive growth over the last couple of weeks, maybe a bit more. And part of this is because the team has, really started focusing some efforts on adoption. And of course, the efforts are just starting. So there's a lot more to be done in that avenue to attract more and more users in multiple different ways. I'll mention a few of them maybe a bit later, but yeah, there's a lot being done and the results are showing and the growth will only increase. Some days may be different than others. Market cycles have an effect as well, or market trends rather. But at the same time, the overall trend that we have seen over the last month, 2, 3, 4, is very positive growth, especially in the last month or so. So first of all, recently, some of you may have seen that we have, the team has actually improved the token builder utility, which I mentioned a bit earlier in the AMA. So a new, more advanced and flexible contract has been added into the token builder. And the main difference here is that the amount of functions that can be written in the contract has increased. And for those who may not be familiar with what the token builder actually is, very quickly, and I mentioned this a bit earlier as well, the token builder is simply a utility developed for the Bitrock blockchain, where anyone who is lazy or has no coding experience or has very standard needs for a contract deployment can simply connect their wallet to that page. They can simply enter a few values in a few fields, so things like the total supply, the token ticker, the marketing wallet address, the marketing tax, liquidity tax, all of that type of basic stuff. And you just simply click one button, deploy now, and you deploy a contract on the chain. Of course, along with paying the gas, which is near zero. And then there's tutorials as well there for the actual process of deploying, writing functions in the contract after deployment, adding liquidity, and so on and so on. So the contract that is built into this utility, which cannot be touched, so it is a safe contract for anyone launching with this utility. Again, this is a contract that is safe, that does not prevent teams from exploiting things like liquidity pools with rug pools, or marketing farms or bat teams and so on, of course, so be careful still. But the contract that is built into this utility has been improved. So now the same exact fields or functions that you enter before deployment, those haven't changed. Once you deploy, you're able to go to your contract if you're the owner or the deployer in the Explorer, the Bitrock Chain Explorer, and there are a lot more functions that you can modify now. And for a full list, you can just simply go check out the utility or go check out any, I think, contract that may be recently launched using the token builder. And I believe in one of the pinned messages, we have a screenshot of all the new functions that have been added as well. So that's definitely going to make things a lot more attractive for developers to actually deploy on the chain and also deploy using the token builder on the chain, because now the functions that are built in are basically have been expanded. So they are a lot more appealing for your standard developer who wants to just launch a token. So now it's much more friendly, let's say, to use the token builder for deployment. So that's part of the adoption efforts that are being done for the chain. We also saw Bitrock Wallet launch, I believe almost about 4 or 5 days ago or so. Very, very successful launch. I think a lot of people would agree with that, or most people, hopefully, and really speaks to positive, solid utility projects on the chain. Of course, this is a much needed utility, and there's a good team behind it who have also been vetted by the Bitrock team. So they are a partner project as well. But of course, it's not run by the Bitrock team. Very simple, the wallet utility itself, in terms of updates, auditing, and stuff like that, is under control of the Bitrock team. But the token, the project as a whole, and the administration side is a totally different team. But in terms of security, for security purposes, the wallet is under the control of the Bitrock team. Now, that has launched, great success, still building. I believe they are currently they are finalizing the wallet, some edits on the wallet itself, which should be ready fairly soon, and the wallet will be released. Of course, this is as a result of the audit that they have gone through. So the wallet itself has been audited by CTD-Sec, and CTD-Sec, for those who don't know, is Bitrock and BlockChain's official kind of auditing and cybersecurity partner. So the wallet utility itself has undergone a full audit, and of course, there are certain security updates that need to be done naturally, and this is, of course, a very positive thing. Expect that to come out soon, and I think for more information on that, you guys can go into Bitrock Wallet's Telegram and stay updated there. But the wallet is coming out very soon, to my knowledge. Now, moving on, we have, maybe some of you have seen certain buybacks happening, and that has seemingly caught some eyes. So yes, the team has been buying back a few times, and there are multiple reasons for this, but the main reason essentially is from the start of the project, the team has mentioned that buybacks will happen randomly without notice, because essentially sometimes tokens are needed for listings, for integrations, for utilities, for staking rewards, or just to keep as a buffer for whatever may come in the future. So those buybacks were a little kind of reward in a way, not just to the deployer wallet for using the tokens for utility and for the project and so on, but also for the community, for growth, for bullishness, for sustainability, all that type of stuff. So it's a win-win situation, and I think in total around 15 ETH has been bought back, which is very positive, and these buybacks will continue to happen periodically. So you never know when a buyback is going to happen. The Bitrock team is not the type of team to announce a buyback competition or a buyback time frame. Manipulation happens. If that happens, manipulation happens, and this is very well known. So it's going to happen. Buybacks will continue whenever the team deems it fit. They're going to happen randomly. The amounts of buybacks will be random. You will never know how much the team will buy back. You'll never know when. Just enjoy it when it happens. So that's something else that happened over the last couple of days. Moving on to more future news, short-term, medium-term, long-term. I think most of you know Bitrock as a very fast blockchain. 2 seconds puts us way ahead of most of the competition. Most of the competition can be as slow as 14, 15 seconds. And let's not talk about the Ethereum chain sometimes. So we're well ahead already as is over the competition. But something that has been mentioned a couple of times now and hinted as well is that we are going to be making a transition to 1 second block times. So we are basically looking at a time frame of the next couple of days. So Thursday around 8 p.m. UTC. And this is very important for everyone to know. So if you're not listening, you're tuned in, but you're not listening, please make sure your ears are open. And if you have friends who are in Bitrock or family who's in Bitrock and they're not tuned in, please let them know about this on Thursday, 8 p.m. UTC. So that's 8 p.m. again, UTC, 8 in the evening. On Thursday night, the mainnet will be down for 1 hour max, so hopefully less, but the entire mainnet will be down as the team implements 1 second block times. So this is very positive, very bullish. I can hear some people clapping in the background, even though everyone's muted, but I can hear it in my ears. So 1 second block times are coming. This is huge. It's been tested for a very long time now. It's been weeks of testing, if not more, if not a month or more. And the results are all positive. But of course, the reason, some people were maybe expecting it earlier, but with such a change, which has an impact on the entire mainnet, things like this have to be tested thoroughly, and machine specs have to be checked. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that the dev team have to check to make sure it's fine before implementing such a change, and in terms of longevity as well. So again, Thursday, 8 p.m. UTC is when you can expect the mainnet to go down for about 1 hour. The timing is set as of right now. In case there are any changes for any major reasons, we will make sure to inform the community ahead of time. When I say the mainnet is down, we mean that the entire mainnet is down. The nodes will be down. You may be able to access RockSwap, possibly, but you will not be able to transact on the chain. So if you try to do a swap, it may not work, most likely, whether it's through RockSwap, through Sphinx Swap, through DexView, wherever you may be doing transactions, it may be most likely down. And please be patient with us. Try to plan your swaps and transactions accordingly. The team will try to minimize the downtime as much as possible, because we do understand that, of course, this is the entire mainnet going down. But at the same time, the result coming out of this is extremely positive. It is essentially a doubling of the transaction speed. So I think everyone will be pretty happy with the result coming after that. So if you want to, be careful with your swaps, you can, do whatever swaps you need to before that or after the downtime is over. The estimated downtime is an hour. Hopefully, again, it will be less. But as of right now, it is planned for an hour. And of course, the team will be updating everyone as soon as this is complete and the mainnet is live again. So that's something everyone can look forward to. I think I'm definitely looking forward to this. So that's number one. At the same time, the team has onboarded multiple more calls or Twitter partners, long-term partners as well. So I think there's about 7 or 6 or 7, maybe 8 new Twitter partners that the team has onboarded. They will also be starting to post about Bitrock very soon, but definitely they will be also sharing the news about the 1 second block time transition. So this is happening on the Twitter front, and of course, all of our existing partners will be sharing that as well, in terms of Twitter partners, Telegram partners, and so on. At the same time, there have been or there will be over time exposure and marketing on other platforms as well, whether it's Reddit, whether it's PR articles. So that is to come, over the next period of time, maybe the next couple of weeks, as we ramp up exposure more and more about the 1 second block time. The team has also booked and confirmed banner ads on multiple websites, I believe, including Etherscan as well. So there will be banner ads going live shortly within the next few days as well. So all this is not only to promote or add exposure to Bitrock as a whole and the blockchain, of course, but also a lot of it is directed specifically towards exposure around the 1 second block time news and timing as well of the news, within the next few days. So you can look forward to that. There's a lot that's going to be happening. And what I've just mentioned is also part of the team's efforts to increase adoption, exposure, awareness, marketing, whatever you want to call it. So all of this is not only, like I said, going to be directed around and towards the 1 second block time transition, but also for the long term as well. So you can expect more and more exposure for the project and for the blockchain as a whole over the next weeks, months, and so on. Moving on, we have a new integration as well. So this is a little bit more of a, maybe it, I'm going to try to do my best to explain it, but some people in the chat have recently asked about a certain integration that would be very useful for managing wallet permissions and wallet access. Some of you may be familiar with revoke.cash, and essentially it is a website which allows you to control different dApps and, let's say, platforms that have access to your wallet, allows you to disable them, allows you to revoke access to your wallet from those platforms in order to stay safe, reduce chances of scams, hacks, and so on. And of course, that is becoming rampant these days. And of course, as we approach a bull market, that is going to increase even more in the market as a whole. So the Bitrock blockchain has been integrated successfully into revoke.cash. And we can expect an announcement from them to come in the next few days. This will also be officially announced by the Bitrock team in the next few days as well, timed with the announcement from revoke.cash. But now if you open revoke.cash in your wallet from your dApp browser, you will be able in the chain dropdown to see Bitrock, and you are able to connect your wallet, control access to all the different dApps and platforms that have access to your wallet from the Bitrock side of things, and control access through that. So that is the second thing, which again is huge, even though the, it's not, something that's maybe that many people use or that most people use, but I think it is an important tool and utility that is out there that people should make use of, especially if it has a direct effect on your safety, your funds, and your security. So that is the next thing in line. The third, I don't even know, maybe fourth thing in line now is the Bitrock Bridge. So the team has been working tirelessly. We understand that some users over, many months since we went live with the Mainnet and the Sphinx Bridge, they, may have been having certain difficulties with the Sphinx Bridge, especially on MetaMask. I think for most other wallets, it is okay. But for MetaMask, there's a little bit of an extra step or two that may confuse some, users who may not be too familiar with bridging, and that's completely fine. But also, again, to increase adoption, increase utility, and offer multiple different access points into the chain, the Bitrock Bridge will be live in the next couple of weeks, maybe a week. 1 to 2 weeks is when you can expect it to go live. And this is once again in partnership with Onchain. So Onchain are the same team or the same project that have worked with the Bitrock team to deliver the USDB bridge or the Bitrock stablecoin bridge, which has been functioning perfectly. And I think a lot of people are happy with that. So there will be an added option to be able to bridge Bitrock as well soon from the Bitrock Bridge, and more details will be shared soon as we approach the launch of the bridge. So that will be an added access point, and the aim here is to eventually attract and start bringing Bitrock chain users over from using the Sphinx Bridge to using the Bitrock Bridge primarily, and the Sphinx Bridge secondary. So the Sphinx Bridge will still be functioning, but it's going to be more of a secondary bridge, while the Bitrock Bridge will become more of the primary bridge. Now, all the other different ways into the mainnet will not change. They will remain functional, fully the same. So we have the USDB bridge, where if you have USDT on the Ethereum chain and you want to bridge that over, to the mainnet, you are able to bridge that over in the form of USDB, which is USD Brock, which is the Bitrock chain stablecoin, and then use that to buy different projects on the chain. So that bridge is there. We also have the mainnet integrated with Mexi, where we are listed as well, and Bitmart, where we are also listed, and eventually on BitGet as well. We are listed there, but the mainnet is not there yet. It will be there eventually. The team is working on that. So in total, we would have about 5 different access points into the chain, which for a chain of our age and the type of start with a stealth launch, no VCs, and stuff like that is actually quite huge. So we would have 2 exchanges, a stablecoin bridge, the Sphinx bridge, and the Bitrock bridge as well, all functioning, and you can use any of them as you wish. And that is coming within the next couple of weeks, hopefully sooner. And of course, there will be exposure around that as well. And then I think, some people, for those who may not have been up to date, the multi-chain integration on RockSwap is being worked on. There has been a pinned post with a full update in the Bitrock channel. It is pinned, I think maybe about 7, 8, maybe 10 messages back. But the summary of it is that during the course of development of the multi-chain layer, the team were presented with an alternative, let's say, approach or route, which would enable them to integrate with 50 plus blockchains all at once, rather than starting with Ethereum and then moving on to BSC and then, whatever, Solana, and so on and so on. So using this approach, it would take a little bit of a longer time, so that the new ETA is within Q1 of 2024, which again could be any day within Q1. So it could be tomorrow, it could be March 31, we don't know. As development continues and the timelines become more definitive, updates will be shared. But the aim here was to not limit it to a certain day, to avoid manipulation, and to also manage a realistic timeline from the team, since it is a new development approach, which started before the new year. So it is not something that was, the approach or the methodology was not just, started after the new year. This has been something that has been in progress for a while. But essentially, we're looking at, hopefully, if everything goes well, an integration with 50 plus blockchains at the same time. And this is very positive for RockSwap. It will add a lot of utility to it, and it would also attract a lot of volume to RockSwap and the Bitrock blockchain in general. So that's very positive. At the same time, the team will also start focusing more on more RockSwap utilities. So that's coming in the next few months as well. So there will be LP provider rewards, there will be farming pools, and so on. So that's coming, and more details will be shared on that in due time. But These are things that you can look forward to, sorry, on the RockSwap side of things. So the team did not forget about RockSwap, but at the same time, it is an important balance to strike between growth of the blockchain as a whole, because if one of the components of the blockchain is developed without actually developing the blockchain behind it, we don't really gain as much as if we grow the blockchain. And then also following that, grow the different utilities on the blockchain further. So it's important for everyone to understand this. So this is for the benefit of the blockchain. So yes, RockSwap utilities are coming. And like I said, you can expect the multi-chain within Q1, the multi-chain layer integration. You can expect LP provider rewards. You can expect farming pools, and so on and so on. And more will be shared. So that's something else. A couple last notes before I end here. Eventually, and again, this is something that is a little bit further down the urgency or priority list, but it will eventually come as well. The team will be looking to push the transactions per second to above 12,000. We are currently at 12,000 maximum transactions per second, which again also puts us ahead of a lot of the competition. But at the same time, and even though currently we're not really reaching this, which is fine, eventually as we approach a bull market, we can expect transactions, daily transactions to increase, and second-wise transactions to increase as well. So the team will be looking to push in due time, or at least try to push the transactions per second to above 12,000. There are certain security considerations to keep in mind when doing this. So the team will provide more of an update on this when the team is focused on this task. Whether it's, how much further can we push it? Is it achievable? And so on and so on. But they will be working towards this in the coming months. And lastly, like I said, you guys can expect more and more efforts by the team to increase adoption and the user base for the blockchain, and eyes on the project in general, whether it's in the form of integrations, enabling accessibility to and from the blockchain through different integrations, having more partner projects on the chain, exchange listings eventually as well. And we've mentioned multiple times before that the team is aiming towards higher exchanges, and that does take time, so please be patient. Whether it's marketing or, let's say, partnerships or exposure, that's all coming in different forms. Hackathons, where there are different rewards for different ideas, and essentially it's like a contest almost for building the best project possible on the chain within the competition. There's obviously different criteria. More news will be shared on that in the near future, but this will happen. So all of this is directed at increasing the user base, so that when we do get to eventually a bull market, a full-on bull market, we would be in the best possible position to welcome new users, have a busy ecosystem, a lot of different, let's say, utilities, a lot of different integrations. So, these months and previous months as well are the time for the project to build. So please be patient. There's a lot coming. There's a lot that I've mentioned as well. And I hope you guys found value in what I had to say and what William had to say earlier as well. If maybe one or two people have questions, I will take one or two before we call it a day. So if you do have questions, please go ahead and ask or request to speak, and I will give you the mic, and we'll take maybe one or two. Well, I don't really see anyone. So I suppose with that, we can wrap up today's AMA. Again, the nearest thing you can expect, guys, is the 1 second block time, which is really a game changer. That's going to be putting us even more ahead of more competition. And I think, it's essentially you click or you press the swap button, the swap is done. So I haven't had that feeling in ages until I got on the Bitrock chain. I look forward to, if I can't get my lag down in Call of Duty, I'm happy to get my lag down on on the Bitrock blockchain. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys had a great session. Hopefully enjoying what you heard. Hopefully taking value what you've heard. And we'll see you guys in the next one, and look forward to more updates as things continue. Have a great day, night, afternoon, wherever you guys are, and we'll speak again soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in.